right down from your belly. So get in here, you half a queer. It's time for Calta and Kelly.
That's for you.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm the Calta and Kelly, and it's nice to see you all here today. My friend Bobby, who is currently in Montreal, as the Canadians like to say, is there for the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. And hang on, I got to mute this thing. There we go. He's at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, and they are currently having a fire drill in his hotel. So he is unable to, I don't know what the fuck is going on. He's unable to get from the lobby upstairs into his room to do the show. But we do have a special show planned. And if you're watching right now, you're probably getting the shitty end of the stick. But when it's done and it's all produced and put together, it should be pretty good. Let me give you the background. So there's two funny comedians. One is named John Reep, and the other one, John Heffron. And John Reep and I have been friends for a long time. John Reep was best known as the Hemi guy. Remember he had that commercial where he was like, hey, that thing got a Hemi? I had one of those cars, a Challenger or a Charger, a Dodge Charger with a Hemi, and I don't even know what the fucking Hemi is. But neither did John, and John learned about it, and he got this commercial, and the commercial got picked up, and he just became the Hemi guy, and he rolled that out into a pretty good comedy career. And he's had a lot of success. But he's been coming on my show for a long time, and he's a nice guy. John Heffron, same thing. John Heffron, the first time he came on the show, I didn't know who he was or what he did. And I asked Bert, I go, hey, what do I talk to John Heffron about? He goes, ask him about how much cocaine he used to do. And I was like, well, okay, that's not good. So John Heffron came in, and he actually was pretty good, and we had a good show and a good relationship with him. Some years later, Heffron kept coming on the show, and one time he came in while Brad Williams was on, the midget, and we started discussing how John is one of those people where kind of like me, we're kind of like preppers, but not crazy preppers. Like we're not going to sell, we're not going to raise goats. Well, he might, but like I'm a prepper, whereas I prepare for things. I'm not prepping for the end of the world. I don't have giant gallons that collect rainwater. I don't have an air filtration system, but I do have some dry food and some canned stuff. And that mostly comes from me being prepared for hurricanes, because I was in Miami for Hurricane Andrew, and that was a disaster. And thankfully the house stood, but the power was out, and shit got crazy, man. So this time, now that I have kids and I don't like to not have air conditioning, I'm a little more prepared than the average person. But John is taken it to the next level. John brought a farmland, like a house with like all these acres of land, and he's got cameras hidden in the woods, and if something trips the camera, it wakes him up. He's fucking off the deep end. I think that's the effects of long-term use of drugs.
He has those Rambo traps.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's got, like punji sticks and all that. So John and I one time started talking about if the world were to end, who we would allow in our camp. It was no longer about who we loved. It was about who offered a skill to be able to live there. Like Spanish and Joe, who work for me, they offer nothing in life, but they're good. They're good to do stuff. So I could be like, go, and they're little, so they could sneak into spots. So I thought, all right, they'd be good to keep around. So all of this snowballed into a conversation about Brad Williams being a midget. Like, what the fuck's a midget going to offer? We're eventually going to eat him. You know, he can't lift anything. He's not doing any of the work. So eventually going to fatten him up and eat him.
And he can't even wipe his face.
Yeah, he's right. He can't even reach his head. So anyway, we're talking to Brad, and Brad says that he's a pretty good fighter and he could defend himself. And that one day he was sleeping in his house in LA, and somebody broke in his townhouse, and he sleeps upstairs, and they broke in downstairs. And they literally were pulling
upstairs does not mean upper bunk, by the way.
No, right. Up literally on the second floor. So he heard the noise, and when he went downstairs, somebody was trying to yank his flat screen TV off the wall. Probably like a crackhead just going to pawn it for $10 and buy drugs. Mm-hmm. So the guy is pulling off the wall. So Brad doesn't have a gun or anything. So the only weapon he has is samurai swords. So he grabs the samurai sword and runs at the guy screaming. The guy gets nervous and runs away. And then Brad says, and then the next day it dawned on me that guy was in my living room trying to pull the TV out. Next thing you saw was a midget with samurai swords coming at him. And that's one of the funniest fucking things ever. And then I started thinking how helpless, like I'm a big guy and I always been pretty big. So I'm not worried about Like, I'll fight a motherfucker. I don't care. And plus now I got guns and stuff. So I've never been that guy to worry about my safety or my family's safety. But if I'm a midget, there's a lot of, I mean, you can get butt fucked. There's a lot of things that somebody could do you can't defend. If I want to kill Brad Williams, I can kill Brad Williams. If I want to butt fuck Brad Williams, he's butt fucking. So I started feeling bad and vulnerable for him, and I said, "What if you created a not an alarm, but like how people have safe rooms? What if you had a giant teddy bear in the room, and if you heard an intruder and you're a midget or a kid, you climb in the teddy bear, you unzip the back, you get in there, and then you zip it, and then the eyes, you can actually see through the eyes, and maybe you hide a phone in there for 911 and stuff." And we started thinking about this seriously, how this could be a great deterrent to getting robbed or butt fucked, would be to hide inside the teddy bear. And we laughed for hours. And then I realized Heffron was really crazy, because a week later, he sent me lock picking tools from Amazon, and he's really preparing to break into shit and steal canned goods and all that. He's nuts. But that makes me like him even more. So Heffron's playing in Visani, where Bobby's playing and Mush is playing, and not this week, but next week. And it's pretty far from here. It's like 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours from here. And John Heffron wanted to come on the show because our audience, our signal for my FM show booms way out there, and we'll boost the crowd for him. My listeners like him. So he was like, "Hey, man, can I come on the show?" I was like, "Of course. I think that'd be great." And the Visani guys are pretty good at driving all the way down here to get the guest here, or even letting them stay here the night before and then picking them up and bringing them down the next day. So he says he wants to do that. I plug it, do all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, Ron White pops in, and Ron White does a surprise show at this Visani. And he says to Heffron, "Do you want to go golfing tomorrow?" So John Heffron, he fucking flat left my show so he can go golfing with Ron White. And I was like, fuck that asshole. And Spanish called him, and we played some of the recording on the air, and he got really mad at us. So right now in my heart, I'm like, fuck John Heffron, that piece of shit. Then John Reep came in a couple of weeks ago, and he told me that he and Heffron do a podcast together, and would I come on it? I go, oh yeah, I would. So I can tell John Heffron what an asshole he is. And then we told him the whole story. He goes, I would love that. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I do a podcast with the world's greatest best friend, Bobby Kelly. Maybe we can come on together. And that is what's going to happen a little bit later on today. Now, you won't be able to see that portion of it until it's completed and Mush has it all packaged up and reposted, but you will get to see it. Right
well,
now,
the Ladybugs will see a version of it, but there'll be a.
Hey, Mush, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's this skinny guy that looks a little bit like Bobby Kelly on the screen. Do you recognize him? Look at that. I want to kiss that face.
Hi, buddy.
Look at you, young Brando. Oh, my word.
Look at you, dude. Look at, I'm excited. You're back in your seat. You got the Calta and Kelly sign up. I'm sorry I'm late, dude. They dropped off this stupid, when you come into your hotel room and there's a note.
Yeah.
I don't read them because I still have that juvenile fuck. They got me. Like I did something. I don't smoke. I don't do pot, but I'm like, oh, they're going to fucking charge. They're going to kick me out of the hotel, so I don't read it. But apparently they were doing fire drills today. At 3 o'clock, so they shut down all the elevators. I'm just sitting there pushing the button by the pool. I was in the pool for like
you didn't want to walk up the stairs.
No, not 13 flights. Are you out of your fucking mind?
What if this was 9/11? What would you have done?
Yeah, dude. Like if something was going, I was by the pool. I'll just jump in the pool.
Yeah, that should deter. That should deter a bomb. Well, I'm glad you're alive.
I'm glad I'm alive too, man. It's good to see you.
Do you know I was in where does Elvis live? Where's Graceland?
It's in Memphis.
Memphis. I was in Memphis during the 20th Elvis anniversary, and I drove there, and I went to sleep, and then my hotel had a fire drill, and I was like, I don't care. I'm too fucking tired. And the guy knocked on my door, opened the door, he goes, could be a fire. I go, I don't care. I'm so tired right now. I'd rather burn than go downstairs in my fucking pajamas and stand outside, and I refuse to leave my room.
Dude, I went to Memphis with Frosty, Matt Frost, Super Agent Matt Frost. And we're staying at literally the garbage hotel across the street from Graceland. It's like a crack hotel.
Yeah.
And we're staying So I guess I didn't know I snored. That's when I first started snoring or something. So he'd knock on the bedpost and I'd wake up, and that's how I stopped snoring. So all night long I would hear, and we're in a dangerous part of town. I'm like, motherfucker. So he did it like, I'm not kidding you, 12 times. And on the 13th time, he was like, because I woke up and I ran out of the fucking, I was like, what the fuck? Who is it? Who's doing this? And you just get Frosty fucking buckle over laughing. Like, fucking terrible.
I slept on the airplane on the way to Italy. I don't know if I snored or not, but I didn't give a fuck. I was just going. I was tired.
Yeah, but you were in your own little pod, right?
There's nothing better. Once you fly in a pod, there's no way of sitting. Like, we flew in a pod, and then when I got to Zurich, we had another small flight over from Zurich to Rome. It was like an hour, and we sat in regular seats. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is bullshit. And they're like, oh, it's 50 minutes. Like, I don't care. I need a bed every time I fly now.
Yeah, you need a small pod plane.
Yeah. I'm definitely spoiled now. So we left here at 11:30 and flew there. So it was nighttime, and we slept the whole way. I just woke up and I was in fucking Switzerland. Then on the way back, we left at the ass crack of dawn. So I slept the whole way. So it was great. I tried to buy us, Bobby, Swiss Army knives in Switzerland. Yeah. I thought that would be a great gift.
That'd be a fucking great gift.
I went in there and I said, give me the coolest Swiss Army knife you have. And she goes, if you had these. I go, give me the best one you have and give me 2 of them. And she's like, okay. And then she goes, are you getting on another flight? I go, yeah, I'm going to Rome. She goes, I can't give it to you. I said, why? And she goes, you can't take it on the flight because you have to go through security again. I was like, motherfucker. Then she showed me, she's like, what? No, because then I had to go get luggage. And then she's like, you can take this little one. I'm like, what I got in there? A blade and a toothpick? I don't need that. That's not a real Swiss Army knife. Come on now. The whole idea was cool to say you got it in Switzerland.
Yeah. Fucking A, that would have been a great gift. I almost wish you didn't tell me about that one.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to Switzerland.
I have OCD, and now that makes me want to go to Switzerland and get this job done.
This is why we could never actually live near each other, because you'll say that, and I'll be like, we'll just go tomorrow. And then next thing you know, we're buying tickets to Switzerland.
That'd be so fucking great, wouldn't it? Just to go to Switzerland, get off the plane, get a fucking knife, check it in our bags, get back on the fucking plane.
We don't even leave the fucking airport.
Well, we stop at the Rolex place first.
Yeah.
And then we buy each other Swiss Army knives, we buy each other Rolexes, then we get on the plane.
I won $2,000 the first night on the cruise, and I was like, I'm buying another Rolex. Then I lost it the next day. I was like, no, I'm not.
What did you win it on?
3-card poker.
Oh, you love that game. So tell me about the trip. I want to hear about, I want to hear I'm going to make it easy for you for the story, okay? The 5 best things and the 3 worst things.
5 best things, definitely one of the.
Wait. I got to get a drink.
Too late. You missed it. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to include the flying pod, as one of the best things. Because that was pretty fucking awesome.
You can't do the flying pod as one of the best things.
All right.
Look, we assume that getting in a flying pod, and I'm not sure if that's the name, but I guess that's the name now. We assume that getting in a flying pod is one of the best things, right?
Yeah. All right. So I love Rome.
Wait.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Another fucking fire drill. Only 6 minutes left in the show.
Shut up. There's not. Go.
8 minutes.
No, there's not.
We got to flip over to the other show.
When?
In 8 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I love Rome. I love just being in the city and just seeing the Colosseum right there and the Trevi Fountain and all that stuff. That was great. I loved and hated the Acropolis. The Acropolis is the big temple on the top where all the gods were supposedly lived and all that stuff.
Right.
It's on a mountain, and you have to climb that fucking mountain, and it's 112 degrees in Greece. But when you get to the top of that mountain, you feel like you accomplished some shit. So that was pretty awesome. Right. And then absolutely the best thing, which I never would have thought. I mean, don't be embarrassed by it, but did you even know where the fuck Malta is? Did you even know what the fuck Malta is?
Spain.
No. Malta is the little island, you know, Sicily, the boot kicks Sicily. Malta's like in between there. Yeah. And I didn't know what the fuck it was, but we went there, and it's the most beautiful place you'll ever see. And that's where they filmed that Popeye movie with Robin Williams. And the water is as blue as I've ever fucking seen, straight to the bottom. It's amazing. And that was the most beautiful thing. But all the places in Greece, Mykonos, Santorini, they were all fun. We went swimming on the black sand beach from the volcano. It was pretty fucking awesome.
Did you swim in Malta?
We couldn't swim. We went on a boat ride, but we didn't have a lot of time because they get into Malta like in the middle of the day, but then they leave in the afternoon. They're basically like, go see Malta for a couple of minutes and come back. But I kept telling the guy, can I jump? I wanted to just jump off the boat into the water. It was beautiful. But I did go swimming in Santorini. That was beautiful. Yeah, it was just overall, it was a really good fucking trip, man.
Isn't that a comic from Boston, Frank Santorini?
Frank Santorini.
Hey, who would do the hand?
What's that?
Frank Santorelli. He was in The Sopranos. The guy that Tony beat up at the bar.
Did you see Paul Sorvino died?
Oh, he died?
Paulie from Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Paulie's dead. Henry's dead. Paulie Walnuts is dead, and Sonny Corleone is dead. We're losing all the mob guys this month.
Yeah.
If I was De Niro, I'd be very nervous.
That guy's gonna live forever. He's drinking children's blood in Hollywood. Well, dude, I'm glad you're back, but really quick, how much more minutes do we have?
Well, it's 3:25, and we could join them at 3:30. So we got
5 minutes. That's almost perfect time for you.
Yeah.
To step on a scale.
Oh, I don't have a scale, but listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow, the same doctor who originally weighed me, and I will have it sealed, and I will unveil it during the show.
You're telling me right now.
On my Scouse.
Hang on. You have a fucking vacuum cleaner that's you just plug into your wall. You have a thing that makes your house smell whatever the way you want to have it. You have a fucking ice machine in your living room next to a fucking humidor, next to a wine cellar. You have your own
cone makers.
You have a fucking tortoise, a pool, a fucking griddle, a grill, an egg, an outdoor fridge, an outdoor kitchen. You have an indoor kitchen. You have fucking 5 cars. You have a spritzer. You have a studio, state of the art in your house. You have every gadget plus 9 fridges. And you're telling me that you don't have a scale.
That is not 100% accurate, Bobby. We do have a scale.
Okay.
But we have such an advanced scale that it's a piece of metal with 4 circles on it. And you stand on it. And in order to get all the readout information, including your body fat and all this other stuff, it comes up on an app on your phone. I don't know. I don't have that app. I don't know how to operate. It's all my wife's stuff. You can stand on it all day. There's no numbers on it.
I want you to we'll do the old-fashioned scale. You ready?
Yeah.
You stand on your iPhone. If you break it, you're overweight.
I'm going to tell you what was the bet?
You said you were 360, which
361.
Listen, 361. Is that right, Mush?
Yes. But Melissa knows for sure. She wrote it down.
The ladybugs know. The ladybugs are on it, by the way.
Yeah, I'm on it too. Trust me. You know how many desserts I said no to because I don't want to pay Mush?
That's terrible. Don't say that.
I'm going to pay Mush like NBC.
No.
357 installments.
All you have to do is this. You just got to get Mush. I would say this, Mush. I would let him off the hook if he just buys you a year membership at Planet Fitness, which is $100.
Like, fuck that shit. I want the money.
I'm sorry, Mush. I apologize, Mush. And it's probably not 500. I bet it's more like 2,500.
All right, let's negotiate this real quick. Okay. I did work out on the ship. I did walk a lot on the ship.
Numbers.
Yes.
I did not eat like a total pig. What's going on?
Lou wrote 324 pounds. She's out of her fucking mind.
No, she said
that was in high school.
She said what?
She said 337.
No, it's not 337. It's
361. I'll be honest.
361.
So what I'm saying is that when I was on the cruise, I worked out. I went to the gym. I walked on the ship, and I walked in Greece a lot. And I did not pig out on the food. Like, I didn't go to buffets and shit like that. I did okay. I did eat some fucking crazy shit like carbonara in Rome. I had some moments.
Did you go to my place?
The what?
Did you go to my place?
I did not go to your place. We didn't have a lot of time. Okay. But I will tell you, Mush, without having stepped on a scale, and I swear on my children I have not, would you take a $300 buyout right now, not knowing whether or not I gained or lost weight?
Ooh, Mushy.
You run the risk of getting nothing.
I'm going to tell you right now, Mush, I'm looking at him. He does not look that much different than when he left. And the food in Europe is different. And yes,
right through you.
He's walking everywhere with his family. I mean, yes, he worked out on the ship. He walked to Starbucks and walked back to his room probably 72 times a day.
No Starbucks. I did not have Starbucks for 10 days.
Wow. Mush. I mean, listen, a year membership at Planet is $100.
Don't I already have that?
Look, I'm trying to negotiate. I'm getting your crazy, okay? So fuck off.
I thought that was already being taken care of.
I'm not a millionaire. I'm taking care of it another way, okay?
I'm just Monty Hauling this. We can go full on weigh in, and there's a chance you get nothing.
But just nothing.
Or we could do $300 right now and call it even. But I'm willing to ride it out until we open the envelope.
Bush, does he get the money Venmo to him after the show?
Oh yeah, immediately.
Immediately, Mush, take that money.
I need the money, but the show needs the clip. So
you're saying you want to do it for the show?
Oh my God.
With the clip.
All right. I will. I'm going to tell you this. Tomorrow I have my doctor's appointment. My diet doctor.
Wow.
I will video the scale as I get on it, so there's no shenanigans.
Gotcha.
I mean, I could step on there and that thing could be like 387, and we'll be completely embarrassed, but it'll be fucking hilarious. So I'd rather do that than cheat.
No Everybody's going to take the money. Take the money.
Look, I'm going to tell you this. I'm just being honest because I climbed that fucking mountain. In 4 different cities, I climbed mountains, and it was 1,000 degrees. My pee was beer colored because I was so dehydrated. I sweat my balls off. My legs feel like a running back's. Like I feel like I have such ham hocks right now. So I'm just saying though. But if you want to wait it out, and there's a chance you could get 0, that's fine. I admire your.
I just think it'd be more fun if we see what happens.
Okay.
I don't know. Look at that arm. That arm's looking tight, dude.
He looks good. I just like I said. I think it'd be more fun to see.
You should see how big my cock is, Mush. It's huge now.
You gotta send that picture too with the weight.
I've been sending them to
So we're doing this show, and then the fans aren't going to see the show until when?
Till it's over, and Mush produces it all, and then re-release it on YouTube.
Okay, right. They're actually going to be able to see the Ladybugs here right now. They're going to stay in this room, and I'm going to share the screen so they'll be able to hear it pretty well.
All right. So should we dip over there now?
Yeah, so you guys leave. You guys both have a link.
Wait, we got to get a game plan. Are you mad at him?
Well, I mean, I'm going to tell him he's a dick, but I mean, I'm cool if we make up at the end, but he's a douchebag.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Hey, I'm going to dinner with Tom Brady tonight.
No, you're not.
No,
and Bobby, when you're done, if you want to come back in here, there'll still be Ladybugs here.
Okay, great. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're going to dinner with Tom Brady?
I'm going to dinner with Tom Brady and the guys he does TB12 with, his company that he has. I got invited to this dinner, and it's tonight, and I'm fucking super excited. That's why I got at 4 o'clock. I got to get out of here and go fucking get dressed.
All right, let's go do this thing and get you to that dinner so you can make friends with him, and then I can be friends with him through you.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
I'm going to surprise you today. I'm going to ambush you. Maybe this will scare you.
Okay.
I've got 2 guests that are supposed to join us here in a minute, and you know who they are, but I'm not going to tell you who they are until they get on here. Like, I'm not even going to tell the audience. I'm just going to let them pop on, and then I'll introduce them. You'll know who they are, but maybe some of the people won't. I mean, a lot of people will, Some people won't, but no biggie. But
and I would know them because there was an altercation at some point. Is it just old high school friend?
I'm not going to give any hints.
I think just I'm like an asshole.
It's not going to be it's somebody in the entertainment industry. That's how other people will know them. You know, they're in the same sort of vein as us. And perhaps there's been beef at one point. I don't know.
Oh, beef with me with both of the gentlemen, or
see, Alan, I can't tell if it's our connection or if it's actually John.
It's not. No, it's my connection. It's just me hiccuping.
You sound great now. So.
I've been a witch. She's put a curse on me that I'm going to hiccup for the rest of my life.
Our special surprise guests are here. Maybe this will help cure your hiccups. Yeah. Would you like to meet who our special surprise guests are? Now, like I said, I didn't tell you about this because I wanted a natural, real reaction. And because you have hiccups, maybe this will cure your hiccups. So the Alan Jackson, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and I'm not going to introduce them because I want the actual reaction of their faces, John's face when they pop up here. So the Alan Jackson, whenever you're ready, go ahead and invite into the room our special guests. There's one of them. There's another one.
Holy gosh. It's Dat Fan.
Hello.
How are you guys? How are you, Bobby? How are you, Mike?
Hello, John Heffron.
Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah, I forgot. Did we have a thing?
Yeah,
we had a thing. Hold on. I'm going to record you now. So you don't even know when I'm recording you off air. I've already recorded 20 minutes of your conversation. Listen, that I'm now going to play on air.
Nobody secretly recorded you, you fucking lunatic.
You did. Your fans. Okay, can I tell the story?
Hang on, real quick, everybody. Let's introduce who they are. We got Robert Kelly down here in the bottom left. Very hilarious, famous comedian. Been in everything that you know and continues to kick ass. Top right, Mike Calta, biggest radio DJ in all of Tampa. And
let's not just pigeonhole it to Tampa, John. Let's just say maybe the southeast.
Southeast, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Southeast. Now continue, please.
But Kelly, he is framed
because John Heffron looks like he's been teaching violin in the background. What do you got going on there? A podium and a grandma chair.
We haven't talked in a long time. I moved to a farm in Michigan.
I know. I was with you for the farm. See how quickly you kicked me aside.
So anyway,
let me tell everybody why I hate John Heffron.
Okay,
why I love John Reep.
Okay.
Both the Johns have been longtime guests on my show. And by the way, that's my number one best friend, Bobby Kelly, super famous comedian. We host a podcast called Calta and Kelly, and we tried to merge them both to be on together. John Reep and John Heffron have been on my show a dozen times or more over the years. Both good guys. John Heffron and I hit it off because we both had a little bit of prepper syndrome, like we were worried about the end of the world, and we started judging our friends by what skills they would bring in the post-apocalyptic world. And we have Brad Williams.
New lockpick set that I just picked up.
John sent me gifts. He sent me a lockpicking set. I have all the stuff you need. And then we've developed like John moved into a different category. He went from comedian who comes on the show to like friend of the show. He locked into a different category. And then he was playing at the Vasani Comedy Theater, which is 3 markets away from where I am. But because my signal boom's so strong, we sell out down there for those people. And they said, would you like
Bobby, you're muted, Bobby. We can't hear you. I don't know if it's you or us, but I know you're trying to say something, but we can't hear you at all, brother.
Yeah.
I'm just now listening.
He's just lit perfectly.
No, he looks great.
I'm not going to get over that.
Like, his picture and Mike's picture are 1,000 times different. Like Mike seems like it's way zoomed out.
I don't know why I have that green thing and all that. I don't know what that is. That's technical stuff that I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
It's okay.
But I don't know why you can't hear Bobby. Bobby's live in Montreal for the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, and he was loud and clear prior to this conversation.
Hey, Leon Jackson, can we double check and make sure Bobby is?
I saw Bobby, since we're talking about him, get so mad at Montreal doing a podcast.
Testing 1 2.
There you go.
We got you.
There you go.
Yes, I just want to let you guys know real quick that I will be at Versani's next week.
Next weekend.
Through Friday, Saturday.
Now, let me ask you a question, Bobby. Since you're there next weekend, are you going to come on my show to promote that?
Max, this is the deal, is that I always fly in a day early to make sure that I'm on your show.
But what if another comedian asked you to go golfing instead? Would you skip my show at the last minute to go golfing with another comedian?
Well, I'm going to be honest. It depends on who if it was Eddie Murphy and there was transvestites.
Understandable.
I would call you and go, look, there's Eddie Murphy, transvestites, there's cake and pizza. But if you don't want me to go to that, Mike, I'll come to your show. I would say it's up to you. If you say come in, I will do it. But if you understand what I want, a little cake and transvestite Eddie Murphy, you'd be like, and I would assume that you'd be like, dude, go do your thing. I get it.
What if it was Pauly Shore and tacos?
I would come into your show 100%.
Oh,
I would 100%. Yeah, I'm not a fan of tacos.
What if it was John Mendoza and frisbee golf?
I mean, I'm a fan of frisbee golf, and John Mendoza seems like a nice guy. That sounds like a fun little hang. So, no, I would come into your show. Yes.
So
what if it was a fat old Southern wizard,
yes,
and no food at all?
Oh, I would it wouldn't be an option. I'd just be like, yeah, I can't.
Southern wizard.
A Southern wizard.
Ron White is a Southern wizard.
Yeah, no, it's just as what you said. I go, yeah, that's what he looks like.
So
I have a question for Heffron.
You shall not pass.
I have a question, Heffron.
yes,
You have a lock pick for the end of the world. At the end of the world, won't the locks just be open anyways?
well, you know what's funny is all my gun saves has those codes where you go DDD and you do a little move. I have forgotten all of the codes, so I have to buy those secondary things so I can at least get into it to see what's in it, because it's not
your own lock.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing. So the story of this is I land, I get picked up. Ron White is going back into comedy, so he's featuring for me the entire week. Which was awesome. Anytime you get to walk through somebody else's standing ovation to get to your show, that's awesome too. That's also when you get to make the transition from going, my social distance is I just come on her tits, and then I'm up here, hey, your mom gave you weird haircuts in the 70s, right? So a little bit of a jump for that. So when I get there, I said, hey, are we driving down to or driving up to see Calta? Then I was told by other people there, we're all playing golf with Ron White. It's a 3-hour drive. We can't make it if we go. And I go, well, I don't play golf. If somebody can get me down there, I will get an Uber or something back up. And then they said, well, the shows are already sold out. You don't have to. And I go, no, let me call them. And then we'll try to get down there some way. I'll call. And if I can't physically get down there, we'll say I was supposed to. And then I slept in, and I'm just dumb because I sleep in and I miss radio events. So then, the guy who works for The Wire, Spanish, right? I get him on the phone, and he's over, which was weird to me. He was Eddie Haskelling me, like right off the drop, which made me feel a little bit weird.
What do you mean? So, what do you mean? Explain that for us.
He's like, oh, hi. Oh, John, sincerely, we just really can't wait to you're back here. Those staff, you've been really excited. Sincerely, Mr. Heffron, we're so excited that you're going to come back. And I go, dude,
that's Spanish.
I hate to tell you, but I can't make it down there. I'm trying to figure out how to get down there. If I can get an Uber, or if the club will pay for it, I'll try to figure it out. Or if you'll let me Zoom, can I Zoom in? Nope, you got to be in studio. And then I go, okay, let me call you back. And then I talk to the owner, and I go, listen, you guys are going to go golf, but I would like to do the morning show. And then everyone said, just forget about it. Show's sold out. It's 4-hour drive. We're cool on our end. The very next day, Spanish plays my entire conversation that I had with him off air, not on air. He played it where I thought it was a conversation between me and him. Played it.
Because you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay.
What happened was Spanish was talking to you on the phone, and it got to the point where you were bailing out. So Joe started videotaping Spanish while he was on the phone with you. Nobody secretly recorded your conversation. That, first of all, it would be illegal. And second of all, we wouldn't do that to you. But you can hear you bleeding through on the other end of the phone. But nobody secretly recorded. I'm just letting you know because you weren't there. You only heard pieces of it.
Yeah. I mean, but at no point would I hear, hey, we're recording this for air for us to play.
We were recording Spanish's end of it because he was panicking as you were telling him that you couldn't come on the show. And that's what the video guy wanted.
So then the next day, though, where the thing was, the amount of DMs that I had in my Twitter saying I suck, I would never make it as a comic, I can't even sell tickets in Tampa without you. How dare I? And all that stuff. When I was like, you have a very loyal audience. Yeah, also one that producer that records. That's a little bit of a slippery slope going, well, we didn't really record you. There was just a recording machine next to the thing that you were talking out of that we actually started to play. Because I would have been down there, and then your fans forever just came to, was just attacking me forever. But listen, I'm not bragging about it. But,
how do we solve this? These two guys... I mean, John was friend of the show, Bobby. What do we do?
John. Mike is the one thing with Mike Calta, being his #1 best friend, Mr. Reep.
And Patreon.
I mean, just an amazing, his loyalty. He's been burned so many times over the years by people who are nobody, and then he helped create the thing in that area, and then they beget somebody, and he loves when those people come back no matter what. And then there's the people that like, I don't need you anymore. Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Which I don't think John Heffron at his core is that type of person. Like, he led into the story. He had to go on stage following a standing ovation, which as a comedian hurts to think about that. That'd be like Louis opening for me and me going up, hey, how you guys doing? Hey, fuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that is a stressful thing. Number two, I know that it's not like it's not like
what do you say? I missed it.
Do you not want to have a 2? I won't have a 2. I'm my number 2. I forgot. I'm sorry. My number 2 is gone.
Have a C. Yeah. So that was the whole thing. The fans that were then pissed at me, thinking I was doing the dick move when I did everything I could to go. I'll Zoom in. I'll call in. We'll do a bit where I slept in. I will literally take an Uber down there, and everybody waved me off and said, "No, you're fine." And then they just played me on air sounding like a pussy. Just the next day, just being being very over accommodating.
You wanted to go golfing with Ron White.
I never went with him. It wasn't
to be on the next fucking redneck comedy tour.
I would have if he would have taken me on a tour. I would have taken that. But I didn't golf. I don't know how to golf.
That was the whole point. You chose Ron White over us, and Ron White's gone. We're still here.
I didn't even see Ron White for golf. Nobody picked me up for golf. Nobody.
I don't know
he didn't play golf or do the radio station. He still got messed with, even if it was accidentally, it still happened.
Well, it wasn't accidentally, but it wasn't as bad as John thought it was. So you got no fucking golf with the Southern Wizard, and you got no you got everybody mad in Tampa. So what was worth it? And I don't know who I'd rather golf with less, the Southern Wizard or that idiot that runs Vasani Comedy Club. Both would be miserable to spend outside in the hot sun.
Hey,
I think
Mike, I'm playing Vasani's the 4th.
They're next week.
6th.
I'll be there.
Yeah, so please don't call that guy a bad guy.
That guy's get the meatballs.
Can I say something real quick, John?
I was hurt from a person with a radio background that if I had a person or had a friendship with a guest, that I would not pimp them out without them knowing that they're being pimped out to then play that on air. Unless we
violated our friendship. You violated our friendship.
You violated the FCC. You're lucky
Wizard over
Trump was in office, or I would have been talking to people, but they didn't care. They let a lot of things slide.
John, so look, let's just say Mike Calta got hurt, then you got hurt second. Now we got two friends that are both hurt. Yeah, I feel like there's a way we could mend this bridge.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Would you fight Spanish at our boxing event, the Punch Out?
Oh my gosh, I get beat up.
What? Spanish? First of all, he's the guy you have to be mad at. He's the guy you have to be mad at.
Talk to Reep. I've been going to MRIs because let's just say John's a little shaky. That's all I'm saying.
Just this John Heffron.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Calta. I love you, but John Reep said you're hurt, he's hurt, and your thing is that he fights somebody. You're so fucking Italian. It's out of my. It's crazy. Your thing is like, yeah, you fight somebody. I'm gonna watch you fight. What the fuck?
That'll make me feel better.
That'll make me feel good inside. Hey,
my heart is good. I didn't say fight me because I'll kill him. I'm 300 pounds. I'll knock him out. But I should fight the smallest, weakest guy on my show.
I mean, that would be fun to watch. I would watch that.
And and that certainly would win the Tampa audience back over, win or lose. You manned up.
Hey Bobby, would you get mad if the reverse happened to you? Like let's say me and John Heffron, for whatever reason, were as successful as Mike Calta over here, and we had a huge show somewhere, and then you were supposed to come on, but you went to play golf with Louis C.K. instead, and then we did the same thing. Would you look at it as like, I'm actually pissed off, or would you look at it like these are just comedians and they're just busting my balls and that's just what we do?
Well, first of all, John Reep, I don't like your really brilliant switcherooski you just pulled.
Well,
you get me first. I don't like it. I don't like your really sound logic that you're using in this conversation. But and Mike knows this, I would never choose fame to my detriment. I've had opportunities I would be much further along. I wouldn't be doing someone else's gala for the 19th time and Just for Laughs. I'd be doing my own gala if I chose the famous person over my friend or, loyalty. I would never, ever, I would always 100% choose you. If that's the question, I wouldn't.
Well, I would have said,
I got to go. But the thing that interests me is that I didn't hear the conversation that was recorded, and you said you would take an Uber up there.
No.
Yeah, I believe so. I said I will get there. I'll get a car service. I will do. If he really wants to be there in studio, I can find some way to make it work. So
the only way to make it work is to fight Spanish, the Punch Out. I think this could be good for everybody. We can put it all behind us after this.
I'm
Spanish, we'll all be happy.
I'm like 53 getting tested for MS.
Dude, my question was, would Bobby be mad if they recorded your phone call and played it? Would that make you mad?
I'm sorry, John.
Busting balls.
John, I'm sorry. I thought you didn't catch the fact that I didn't answer your question. I apologize for that. I thought apparently you're not as redneck as I thought you are.
No, I'm hanging on every word Bobby says.
I would be. Look, if they recorded my conversation without me knowing, I would be a little taken back by that. But because it's my friend Mike Calta, and I know his fans, and I know where his heart is. You understand?
And also, if John Heffron would have been like, "Hey, by the way, Spanish, I can't make it. I have AIDS, but don't tell anybody," I wouldn't have played that on the air. We just played a little bit of background noise to hear.
We did text though. We did text shortly after because I know because you guys just re-aired it as like a best of, because every time you guys do, my my DMs blow up about how I can't even sell tickets in Ybor anymore, that I'm suck. Which, by the way, I will be at Side Splitters in December, Tampa.
Good luck going on the AM sports station while you're here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was my favorite thing that at whoever did afternoons where Mike was. He goes, "Hey, you should have this guest on, John Heffron. He's coming on." And then the afternoon drive guy, probably like a wacky name like Turbo or something, Mojo or something. He goes, "If I have to Google him, I'm not having him on." So that's that.
Yeah.
That's
damn you,
but
Turbo.
Bobby, you are lit perfect in that spot. And last time I saw you in Montreal, you almost killed a woman. We were doing a podcast. You got me to spend $700 on a podcasting thing that I used once.
Zoom H6
and a Zoom. And this girl was talking, and she got up to walk away, and it was a really funny conversation. And she unplugged everything, and I was so uncomfortable. It was like, it reminded me of when my parents fought, where I just didn't know what to do. I remember that.
Well,
remember that? Like that.
I'll tell you what it was. It was me, you, I think John Morera and Judy Gold. And I'm doing my podcast, which at the time, to be able to, no one knew what a Zoom was. Nobody knew that you could do a podcast in the middle of a fucking restaurant at 10 a.m. in the morning. This girl was a comedian, not with the festival, just a hanger-oner, right? Who thought her good looks could get her somewhere. I don't like that shit. I don't, because you're sexy. It's like, beat it. I got a wife. Her dreams are dead. Her elbows are flabby. I'm not into you. You know what I mean? I like one tit bigger than the other. Back off, right?
Right.
So she decided she wanted to be on the show, and I was like, no. She lied down and just sat there on the couch because, I mean, it's an open space, so I couldn't tell her to fucking beat it. Yeah. And then she got up intentionally and walked through the cord that was plugging everything in. And
she did that slow
fucking podcast.
Yeah, she did that slow walk. Just that real like sauntering.
I saw her do it, and then she went
on to be Whitney Cummings.
Whose gala are you doing, Bobby?
Russell Peters.
Oh,
that wouldn't be. Who's the worst one you ever had? Whose gala was the worst? Mine was Jim Belushi. Mine was Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi.
Yeah. He tried to throw me off stage.
He tried to what?
I had, back when you had those digital cameras or those.
Did you ask me what my worst was so you could tell yours?
No,
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I asked for a pic.
I'm literally Reep. I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, and while I'm thinking, his mind was this, and he just went into the story. Go ahead.
That's my role on this show. Is that.
Have I brought up my children's book I wrote yet? Yeah. But anyway, so I asked if I could take a picture, and then Harlan Williams grabs it and does a selfie, and then Jim Belushi looked at me and said, "I told you we're not taking a fucking picture." And then he came at me. Very large fella. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude, but fuck him. Did you hit him with something?
No.
So, Bobby, what was yours, please?
Mine was the first one I did, and they were like, "You have to be clean. You have to be clean." And I just did the nasty show for 2 weeks. And I'm panicking, and then I'm doing the rehearsal, the practice set, and Kevin Hart goes on before me, and he's like, "Fuck this," and my baby shit, and then I shit, and I smelled the shit, and I fucked it, and motherfucker. And I'm like, I looked at the lady, I go, "He's swearing. He's on the same gala." She goes, "Yeah, but he's cute when he does it." So I was so nervous. My agent goes, "You should wear a suit. You should look good." So I went, took all my money, and had a custom suit built in the mall here. Okay.
Oh my God.
I had to have a Rush thing on it, so I paid $800 more.
What year was this?
This had to be 9, 10, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Kevin Hart wasn't Kevin Hart yet.
Right. Yeah.
And so I put the suit on. I go out and Kevin Hart goes before me and just murders with fucking shit and my baby shit and I shit and I shit my baby's face and motherfucker. I go out. I had to cut everything out of my act swears. I have this one bit where I start yelling and I walk away and I walk down this hallway, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
And I'm bombing so bad. I do the bit and I start walking. There's no laughs. There's supposed to be laughs. There's no laughs.
Yeah.
I have to walk back to the front of the stage in silence. It's so bad.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I come off. People don't want to look at me in the eye.
Yeah.
I wound up going out the back, and my agent was like, "Hey man, you look good. You look good.
Where'd you get that suit?"
But yeah, worst experience I've ever had. I don't even know who the host was. That's how bad it was.
Mine was the second one was the Muppet Show. So they had the year that they had the real Muppet Show you're on stage with. So they tell you, okay, Kermit's going to sing a song. He sings whatever the Kermit song is. 5,000 people are crying because it's such an emotional thing. They go, the wall's going to go up. Once Kermit's done, it's going to introduce you. This wall's going to go up, and then you walk out. And you know what those gals, from wherever you're walking on those curtains, that walk to that mic is a long ass walk.
Oh,
it's not like a funny bone where you're just jumping on stage and it's there. So the wall is not moving. So I'm just sitting there. Guy's got his hand on my back. I'm like, let me just walk around it. I'll just walk around and then I'll walk. He's like, you stay right there. You stay. Clapter is now done. Nobody's applauding anymore. Now it's just silence. Hear somebody cough every once in a while. Then you hear the door move a little, and then the door goes up as slow as it possibly can, gets to the top. Then the guy pushes me, and you hear my dress shoes walking on the wood floor. You hear my dress shoes going clunk, 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 clunk. And then I get to the mic and I go, seriously, you couldn't have just started re-applauding? You just saw that I had to do that walk like that, and I just ate it. It's horrible. Yeah. So,
Mike Calta, what was your worst gala?
You know, I've had a good run of luck ever since I met Ron years ago. Ron White, we golfed together, and ever since then things have been great.
Dude, me and Calta, to this day, I say we had one of the greatest. He might not think so. Maybe his producer has it secretly recorded because I don't have a copy of it. However, we one of the best radio hours I've ever had in my entire life doing radio. Brad Williams was on the show, and we somehow we came up with a movie that it was a buddy cop movie. And how we got Brad in the scenarios is we delivered chocolates and a teddy bear. And that's how we made it through security. And Brad was always in the teddy bear outfit.
Yeah.
John, when I was just in Tampa on his show, when I flew in a day before the gig just to do it,
but we talked about it.
We talked about this actual story.
Yes.
So in a weird way, you were on the show again.
It was a 3-hour conversation, and we kept just adding to it. And at one point, I look over, I'm like, I don't think he's even played a commercial in 3 hours. We've literally we have Brad. We're coming up who the bad, Brad's got to fight the white polar bear. It's just like albino Russian midget guy. We had it like
it was one of the funniest natural unveiling hours of radio we've ever done. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was disappointed that you were coming on the show and that you didn't come and that Ron White was somehow involved. But I was not mad, nor did I want to not be friends with you anymore. It's better to shit on you for an hour and then a couple of days after that. This way, the next time is 100 times better when you do come on the show. And plus, I was a little bit annoyed, and I have a hard time hiding my feelings. So that's just how I went down. But I don't have any bad feelings with you. I think you're a funny guy. I think you're a great guest on the show. And you're one of those guys. The same thing with Reep, where you go, all right, well, these guys have been on the show a bunch of times. Is this one going to be funny? And every time you guys come on, it always ends up being great. So I'm looking forward to you coming back here. I was happy to be able to come on the show today and shit on you for a little while. And
and I wish I could have been there, but there are powers of bees that were, saying, well, getting you down there might be difficult.
It is a pain in the ass. It's a 2-hour drive. When they call me up and they say, hey, we got this comedian, want to bring him in, I'm like, that guy's not going to sit in the car door in traffic for 2 hours. And they go, oh, no, he will. Or they fly him into Tampa and put him here the night before. So, listen, I get it 100%. And I think I'm cool. I hope you're cool. And I hope you are coming to town soon so we can have you fight Spanish. So we can make up.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in early just to drop those Apple what are those tracer things just in random shit Spanish owns, just like in his backpack in his car and all this stuff. And I'm just gonna Robert, how is your lighting so good before you let me go? You have like this. Are you in front of like a?
I learned about video, lighting, lens, and then gear. Okay, just know those 3 things.
It's all about the lighting.
It's lighting, lens, and then gear.
So tell me about the lens you have right now. What are you using?
The skin of a 60s supermodel.
It's fucking beautiful, man.
No, you are.
Like, he's gorgeous.
I'm 51.
Look at his face.
I have the skin of a Filipino grandmother. I am fucking. It's mind-boggling. I don't know
what camera are you using?
It's a GH5. GH5. I got a pancake lens. Not a pancake lens. What is it? A 1.4. It's like a pancake lens, so it bokehs.
You bought me the same camera, and for some reason, I'm half the man I used to be.
Yeah, I don't know because he doesn't hook it up right. He has his fucking Gunga Dins hook it up, and they're drunk by 10:05. Okay, and he doesn't let me do it. Every time I go there, he's like, "No, I'm gonna have Spanish and Pop do it." Pop has a camera from the 50s that they did porn on.
In Spanish, he's over there. He's got a recording. He's just eavesdropping on the couple next to him,
Spanish
recording whatever they're talking
audio
about.
Recording. Yeah. He's fucking great on audio.
So GH5. I buy some pancakes.
Excuse me. While you nerds are talking about cameras, I have to bail.
Okay. He has a very important dinner, I think. So
I do, and I'm excited. Like I have a date. I'm going to dinner with Tom Brady. And I feel like I have a date with a hot chick. So I appreciate you all, and thank you for having me on. And Bobby, of course, and John. I look forward to seeing both the Johns next time you guys are in town.
I'll be in Naples pretty soon. I'm gonna fly in 2 days just in case they cancel my flight.
Oh, be careful! I heard the guy who used to be the Hey There Vern is going to be playing mini golf. Maybe.
Listen, I gotta go too. I gotta get ready for my show.
Jim Varney. Thank you, Bobby Kelly.
Nice to see you, Bobby. But you didn't tell me the mic though. One more thing, just tell me your mic.
And then John Reep. I'm so glad we finally met, dude.
Yeah,
I would like to come back on. If you guys have people on, I'll come back on.
Hell to the yes, Bobby. I've always loved you, man. Admired you from afar. So thanks for doing this.
So what did you just take out of your pocket right there? What type of mic was that? He won't give me any.
This microphone. I'm going to show you right now. Yeah. Ready? This microphone system is a travel microphone. They're wireless labs. Okay. They all go into this. This charges it. You can hook a regular lav mic up to it or just use this. Just clip it onto your shirt like this. And that's what I'm using. That's why I sound good. It's hooked right up to you can hook it up to your computer or phone or camera.
The name of that is?
It's a DJI. DJI wireless mics. It's $350. It's the best microphone travel system you'll ever have.
I just got this as a BB gun for my birthday.
That's not a microphone.
All right. I hope you guys are doing this miles apart from each other. So you'll be safe, right?
Oh, yeah. Before you came on, we accidentally shot that thing in his house.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Listen, guys.
All right, guys. Take care. Have fun in Montreal. Tell nobody I said hello because I don't care. All right.
Take care. Bye, buddy.